Hey everyone, how's everything going? We are going to create some projects today. I got several projects to make and I wanted to go live and y'all watch me and help me. There we go. Let's see here. There. We are going to do a Santa Claus. I'm going to get some people invited. I'll try to anyway. Then we're going to get going. I know it's a beautiful fall Saturday. Everybody's been out doing fall festivities and Halloween festivities. So maybe, hopefully, you're coming in, getting some rest. So we're going to go ahead and get started, I think. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I know it's not the best. Alright, so what we're going to do is, this is Santa Claus. This is one of our transfers. It's a brand new transfer I just got in. This is a layered piece. So I don't know if you can see, but you see these lines down here? This is where we can cut to make it more manageable. And for those of you who do not know, my name is Kimberly Winkle. I am an independent designer with Chalk Couture. I have been with the company since April 23rd, and I have not regretted one moment of joining this company. We are a new company, just a little over a year old. Within my first 30 days, I did make Mentor. And I've gone and done a couple of events. In fact, I'm making projects now for an event I have coming up mid-November. So this is what we're doing. And also, with the layered ones, if you'll notice at the bottom, that's a number 1. That tells you what goes first. It tells you how to layer them so you don't have to try and figure it out. I'm always looking to expand my team, so if you're interested, you can do this as a business or as a hobby. And it's the same benefits either way. You start out the same by buying a designer kit. And it does come with 8 transfers, 5 pastes, an apron, a couple of surfaces, and a couple of more items to help you get your business going. So, this is a surface, just a wood surface that I got. I have sanded it. I have stained it, which is sorry about that. I've got a text message coming in. But I sanded it, stained it, and waxed it. And the reason why you want to do that is because you want to take care of your transfers. These are silk screen transfers, but they are reusable. As long as you take care of them, clean them, and store them properly, you can reuse them. Company guarantees 8 to 10 times, but if you really take care of them, you can do it much longer than that. So, you sand it. You want to get all the wood splinters so you don't mess up your transfer. You don't get it stuck to your transfer or anything like that. Okay? So we're just going to pull it off the backing that you put it back on when you clean it. And we're going to add it to our surface. And I just eyeball. I don't, you know, here's the way I see it. This is a do-it-yourself project. You are making this for you or a friend or whatever. It's homemade. It does not have to be perfect, okay? And then this is our large squeegee, and I'm just going to use it to make sure all the bubbles are out so I'm not bleeding through, having paste go in places I don't want it. Okay? Alright. So the colors we're going to use today, it's going to be red, a bright red. We're going to use white. We're going to use black. And then I'm also going to use, because we have hollies, I'm going to be using emerald green for the holly leaves. So I can't see who's on, but if you'll say hi so I can acknowledge you, that would be great. So our chalk pastes are patented. This is a paste, not a paint. So that means it is washable. So if you make a design or you want to do stuff for different seasons, then it can wash off and you can redo your surface with it. Once it dries, it is smudge proof, so it's not going to smear. But all you have to do is add water and it washes right off. Alright, here's my stuff. One thing you want to make sure with your paste, it is water based, so it does, and it's got chalk in it, so it's going to soak up that chalk and make it a little dry. All you have to do is spritz it with water. This is going to need more than one spritz. And you want to stir it. You want it to be a sour cream consistency. I am actually using our multi-tool. It is a stir slash squeegee in one. I mean, you can use it for a lot of things. As you can see, this is really, I haven't used it in a while. But once you get it going, it's going to go into a sour cream consistency. So we're going to spritz it a couple more times. And just stir it. I know I've got two people on here. I just don't know who you are. So hello and thank you for joining me. I am making Christmas projects for an event. I do take custom orders. You can use this on any surface. You can use it on chalkboard, glass, mirror, wood, metal. We have inks for fabrics and mugs and cups, the ceramic cups that you may want to add a little something to. All you have to do is heat set those. And then they are dishwasher and washing machine safe. Okay, we need to add a little bit more. That one I hadn't used in a while, so it really was a little dry, but it's reconstituting nicely. And I like doing this with y'all watching just because that way you see the process. It's not hard. You may think, oh my gosh, that thing's dry. Because this red was pretty dry, but see, look, it's already reconstituting into the consistency needed. Very nicely, very smooth and silky. Alright, I did drop some on my countertop. Ask questions. I would love to be able to answer any questions you may have. Okay, so I am a messy person, so I'm just going to tell you I have made a mess with this red. But that's what I like about it. It is washable. It will not stick on. So what I'm going to do is I got that ready. I'm going to get my white ready real quick. because you want to pull the transfer off before your paste dries. So I need to have both of them ready. And you know something I forgot to do is I forgot to fuzz the back of my transfer. And what I mean by that is anytime you have open a new transfer, you want to, it's really sticky, so you do want to fuzz the back of it so that it's not as sticky to your surface. So we're going to do the white real quick. That way I can get it really quick on both, because I'm using red and white the first time. Okay, so I have it set. I'm going to do red first right here. This is his hat. And then everything else is going to be white. So I'm going to use, if I can find it, my small squeegee. This is our small squeegee for the red. So I'm going to take some on my multi-tool. And I'm just going to put it where I want it. Okay? It does not take much. And then I'm going to take my squeegee and I'm going to squeegee it on. I'm going to need probably a little bit more. I'm not left-handed, but I'm having to use my left hand. So I don't want to get it in this other part. Hey Carrie, how's it going? I am doing the Santa Claus, the Joyful Christmas. My left hand's not doing too well, so I'm going to have to go to my right. Right now I'm doing red for the hat. I'm trying to hurry up and get it done before it dries. I don't know if I'm going to make it, but we're going to try. So I think what I'm going to do, since it's trying to dry on me, is I'm going to pull this up real quick, let that dry. Because if you don't, you're going to pull the paste up with it. I'm going to let that dry before I do the white. How'd today go for you, Carrie? Everybody's so quiet. So I'm going to use a hair dryer to kind of dry it a little bit faster. You can use a hair dryer or a heat gun. Okay, so I'm going to lay this back down. Again, I'm going to use the squeegee so I can get the bubbles out of it. So I got a good seal on it. Alright, so now we're going to do the white. I'm going to take my large angled squeegee for that, and I'm just going to dip the white. It's a little bit more to cover. So I'm going to take a little bit more and I'm just going to go across it. I may get some red in it, that's alright. Most of the red is dry. have a little bit of an ombre look. If I was doing this all one color, I would just use my big squeegee and not worry about it. Alright, so then we're going to take the back side of it and we're going to do a big squeegee down and get any excess so that you're not wasting any of the paste more than you need to. Just put that back in there. And then we're going to pull this off, and I've got a sink of water over here. We're just going to pull this off and put it in the water so I can clean it here in just a little bit. So, I did get a little white in the red, but you know what? It's fine, because we're not done with it. We're going to let that dry. I like doing these layered ones. I think they're really pretty. Not long to dry. See, I can rub my hand over it and it's not smearing. And I got white over here. I got really happy with that white. Okay, now the next one. So let me show you what I mean when I say fluff it. Take a terry cloth towel. You pull it off your backing. And you're just going to put it on your towel and get some fuzz on the back so it's not sticking as hard. So it's not as hard to pull up off your surface. I always try to pull from the top or the side, never from the corners, because that will stretch out your transfer. And then we're just going to line everything up as best we can. I'm using the ball of the hat to try and line everything up. As much as possible. Alright, again, you're going to take your big squeegee. You're going to squeegee out any bubbles you may have. Now, all this is going to go black. I do have some of the white showing, which is fine. It's not a big deal. Let me wash this. Alright, let me close these up so they don't dry out too bad, too fast. And now we're going to use black. This black is going to give it a little vintage look. See this, I've used this before recently, so it's not very dry. It just took one. And see, you want it sour cream consistency. So we're going to take the black, we're just going to put it all over. Okay, and this is where I'm going to use the big one because I'm just going to go all over it. I don't have to worry about it. Scrape off the excess, put it back in my container so I'm not wasting more than what I need to. Pull it off from the top. And then put it in the bath of water. And voila, Santa Claus. Now I probably could have tried and paint him here. Well, that would take a paintbrush. I don't do well with a paintbrush. But it gives that vintage look. So next what we're going to do is Joyful Christmas. And I'm not sure what color I should do that with. I may do white to stand out on that dark board. So again, we're going to fluff it, peel it off. Remember, you want to peel it off from the side. You want to make sure you get all the bubbles out of it so it doesn't bleed. And I'm going to use white. I need to get one of my squeegees. Hi guys, I'm here. And since we're going to use white on this one, I'm going to dip my squeegee in there and go across. See, it doesn't take much. You just squeegee the excess as you go and use it. Pull it off. Put it in your water. And there we go. I love this Santa Claus one. It's the first time I've done it, but I love it. Okay, so next, let's do some hollies. These are layered as well. So you got to figure out where you're going to put them all. So I think I'm going to do one here, and one here. So we're going to do 3. So this one's going to be where you are going to be doing this one 3 times. Then you're going to go to your second layer, Then you go to your third layer. We're going to start out with green, then we're going to do black, and then we're going to do the hollies red. I am making a mess. That's alright. It's chalk paste. It cleans up easily. All you need is water. So I've got to stir that. And green. This is going to take a little bit more stirring. It's been a while since I've used it as well. See how dry that is? But by the time I get done with it, it's going to be just as smooth and creamy and silky as the other three. So see, that's 2 squirts of water. We're going to add a third and keep stirring. And remember, this doesn't have to be perfect. This is do it yourself, you know? None of my stuff is ever perfect, but I accept the flaws because I know if it wasn't for this, I wouldn't be doing anything artistic anyway. So we're going to add just a little bit more water, and we are just about done getting this ready. Again, this is why I like doing this in front of y'all, so y'all can see it's something you have to do every time. You want to make sure all that's done. Okay, squeegee time. And then, you know, I tell y'all I'm putting my transfers when I'm done with them in water. All it is, you know, cool water. When I get done here, I will rinse them off. I will take a disinfectant wipe and I will wipe the front and back down. It does one of 2 things. Any chalk paste or any of your ink that does not come off when it's being washed off, that will help take most of it off. Plus, you want to do the back because it helps reactivate the stickiness of your transfer. Then you lay it down, sticky side up. I use a cookie rack with the racks that you cool cookies or pies on. Let it dry. It does not take long to dry, and then it goes right back on its backing. So we're going to do green for the holly leaves. So we're going to do it real quick. Okay, and as long as you don't let this completely dry on the transfer, I'll get 3 uses out of this. I'm not worried about it getting on my hands because why? Because it's waterproof. Well, not waterproof, it washes off in water, excuse me. I kind of said the opposite, didn't I? And then we're going to put one right here. I'm not too worried about the direction or angle of it. Get a little bit more. Do it again. Put excess back in the container. And voila, that part's done. Now I'm going to show you my fingers they are turning the color of that. However, it's nothing major. Once you wash with soap and water, it's going to come out. Okay, we're going to let that dry. So we're done with the green. Alright, this is going to be the next one. I'm going to do in black. This is the outline. It's going to take a little bit more patience on the outline because I got to make sure it's set right. No big deal. So I'm sure this one up here is done and dry. Let's blow dry to make sure. If you are doing layers and by some chance you pull off part of your layer or whatever, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. Because that gives it, to me, that gives it character. Can't see. Well, my lighting in here is not the best, so I'm having trouble seeing where everything goes. I get one done good and the other side doesn't seem to be matching up, but I'm not too worried about it. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. So here we're going to go with the black. Remember, I've already stirred it and added water, so I don't have to do it again. I closed it right back up. I'm just going to do the black over it. Didn't get enough. Okay, do that. Now I need to pull this off. Alright, you see, that didn't do too well, but that's alright. Let's see if I can't get this where I need it. Seeing sometimes is hard, especially when you don't have very good light. Got that there, but it's not lining up anywhere else. Alright, this is just going to have to, it's not going to be perfect, but that's okay. You do the best you can. And for the last one. You can see through this. It's just hard when you don't have the right light, which I do not have. We just moved into this house and I've still got to work on my lighting. So, alright, we're done with this part. There's that. Yeah, my lines are off some, but you know what? I kind of like that, you know, because you see things sometimes where it is off. It's not bad off. So we're going to let that dry some. I'm going to add the hair dryer to it. And we're going to do the hollies, which are red. So we're going to put the black up. We don't want it to dry out. Let's blow dry these. And do the hollies. And we're going to do those red. I love doing stuff like this. One, it helps me to be creative. Two, it helps me to relax. This is very relaxing to me, even when things don't line up like I think they should. Because it's something I did. That red is actually a little thick. All right, so there we go. Joyful Christmas with Santa Claus. I sure hope you enjoyed this. Please let me know what you think about it. If you have any questions about the product, what we can and can't do, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions for you. Y'all have a great evening. I'm going to continue to keep doing some transfers and some projects, and hope to see you around again soon. Have a great one. Bye, guys.